All right, what's going on, people? You guys ready for a show? I'm ready. American Fire tonight, folks. I am Ace. I'm your host. We're going to be going into it. Obviously, the Iran war is still going on today. The administration made its case and gave us a lot of insights into what prompted them to do this war and what they're expecting going forward. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over what's going on with the Iran war, the support for it, what people are saying, what's actually happening, of course, breaking through the narratives. That's what we do here. And then, of course, I got to do my nightly grifter report for now because the grifters, guys, are all out like wildfire. Like it is spreading like wildfire. They are out there being outing themselves. I told you that the pressure that this situation is such a big one, they wouldn't be able to hide it anymore. And so they are coming out. So we're going to cover that. I got some new opinions on some people we got to share tonight because things are just, well, Trump himself called out a couple. So we're going to be covering that tonight as well. And then some major wins, Supreme Court wins, you better believe it. And just, breaking more of those narratives, baby, because the grifters, it cannot stand. This aggression will not stand, man. So, but first, I'm going to start out with some from the Clintons because the Clintons' testimonies from the deposition with the House Oversight Committee were released today. And some interesting stuff going to cover there. But first, as always, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Tell the algo you're enjoying this show, that you want it out there. I appreciate it. It's the best way to support this show without costing you a dime. Just cost you 1 second of your time. So hit that like, please, if you don't mind. And if you're on X, hitting that repost helps me a lot as well. So thank you for that, for your attention to this matter. All right, let me say hey to the Chizat, and then we're going to get moving. Wagga Waco, what's going on, brother? Cass Inc., how you doing tonight? Al's Fordham, good evening. Moody, she's here. Nick Majors, what's up? AG Trader, Frank Anastasio, One Love, Pat M, One ST, what's going on? Jason Yancey, what's up, brother? Luis Cisneros. The last time an intro song pumps me up like this, it was Pokemon Season 1. Did you get pumped up by Pokemon Season 1? What was that? Gotta catch 'em all. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. This is my destiny, Pokemon. Yeah, I wasn't even a fan of that show. But my son watches those on repeat. I was too old. Pokemon came out when I was like a junior in high school. I missed the boat. T. Alex, what's going on? Girth Mike, Cindy Lou, what's going on? Toe Cramp, Barefoot, Donna's here. Jim Boswell, what's up, brother? Zach Butterfell, man, it's been a bit. Mr. M. Mickhamski, what's going on? Why can't they pass these bills? Well, told you many times, the Republicans are pathetic. That's what it comes down to. MRTKO, Chris Ranilla, he's here. We can start. All right, man, you didn't miss too much. I'm sorry, I butchered your name. What is that? Renoyo? That's a tough one, man. That's a lot of vowels in a row. Anyways, good to see you guys. Thank you for watching. As always, if you're new here, which we have been getting some new subs and glad to see it. If you're new here, please know that I love to engage with the chat as much as possible. I do go through the news, but I pause. I read the chat. I do try to call out the best comments and questions, and I do it as best I can because the community matters to me. This is an engaging show, back and forth, and I do my best to engage with the community. And no trolling. If you disagree, that's fine. I just don't accept trolling. So if you're not trolling, if you're being honest, we can have a discussion. Okay, let's get to it. D6, what's up? Lone Wolf's here as well. I love it. Oh, yeah, the stock market didn't know what to do. I'll tell you what the stock market did today. It did the initial sell-off to spook a bunch of people. And then, money talks. And the stock market walks, baby. It tells us what's going on. Oil prices tell us what's going on. And you know what they're all saying? All the influencers, the grifters, the Democrats, everybody who hates Trump's out there. He started World War III. This is disgusting. This is Israel. This is a forever war. He lied to us. Oh, my God. And you know what the money's saying? The money's saying, this doesn't look like it's going to last very long. We're good. That's what the money's saying. And I'm sorry, folks, but the money speaks louder than words. It speaks louder than influencers, especially grifting ones. The money talks. And the stock market today said, we're really not worried about this. Oil prices said, this looks like a blip. Not a big deal. So I'm telling you, the markets always know. That's the guys behind the scenes. They always know. Okay. You guys ready? Let's get into it. It is time. Today, Bill Clinton had something interesting to say to everybody. Bill, oh, by the way, Bill looks terrible. He looks like he's on his deathbed. But let's look at what Bill had to say today. All right, well, this is a couple days ago. Friday. Bill was deposed Friday, gave his testimony, talking about Trump and Epstein. That's what Bill Clinton had to say. And I got to tell you, the Democrats don't like it.
I hate this, but because I don't believe I should inject anything. But I do not want to leave the impression, but since there was no follow-up question, the president never, this is 20-something years ago, never said anything to me to make me think he was involved in anything improper with regard to Epstein either. He just didn't. That's the truth. As I said earlier, the only conversation I had with President Trump about this was in the early 2000s. And I have no information.
Interesting.
He did.
That's no longer Slick Willie. That is, that looks like Cancer Stick Willie. My God, how far Bill has fallen. It's pretty pathetic. But you hear that? Even Bill is covering for Trump now. Pretty interesting stuff. You got to admit. So far, there's literally no one credible ever in a testimony, in an actual court testimony, has ever called out Trump on the Epstein Files. And now even Bill frickin' Clinton is exonerating Trump. I mean, if you need any more evidence, you might be stupid. I mean, at this point, if you want Trump so badly to be in the Epstein Files, to be a predator, that you have to ignore every single person who's ever testified. I'm talking about Bill Clinton, Bill Barr, Virginia Giuffre, Ghislaine Maxwell, you name it. Every single person who's ever been under oath and testified about Trump and Epstein has said that Trump had nothing to do with Epstein. My friends, that's considered evidence. And then you got the fact that they don't have a single piece of evidence in any other way. Come on. I don't know how long we're going to do this dance, but that's just another huge one right there. Bill Clinton, Democrat hero, their first guy to win 2 terms back to back since FDR broke the 50-year curse. Yeah, that Bill Clinton said Trump's good. So yeah, somebody said, yeah, this is what being married to Hillary Clinton for 50 years does to you.
The impression.
By the way, I believe that Bill is younger than Trump. I think he's actually younger than Trump. He's like 77 or something like that, 76. Trump is 79, about to hit 80. He hits 80 this year, I believe. This is a younger man. Compare the two. That's pretty crazy. Hillary had her own moment. It wasn't as interesting, but it was fun. This is what happened. This is how Hillary's deposition ended. Thanks to Lauren Boebert, who decided to send out a picture of Hillary in the deposition, the private deposition, to Benny Johnson. And this is how Hillary responded. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because the first part is just the woman talking about it, telling Hillary. But this is the classy Hillary Clinton.
Secretary, she is testifying. Can you please explain how that
I'm
can
done
occur?
with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's
So I would like
sake.
to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was
It doesn't
Excuse
matter.
me.
We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So
well,
I would like to take a break at this moment,
yeah,
and we'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for
I'm
now.
done. I'm done.
Go off the record. Go off the record.
Ooh, witchy woman. And thank you to Lauren Boebert for screwing that up. But again, this is what living with her,
Oh, I hate
living with
this.
that for 50 years does to you. So just saying. Anyways, that's they've now posted the entire testimonies of Bill and Hillary on YouTube, House Oversight Committee. I do recommend going to watch them. There is some interesting stuff in there. They do start grilling Hillary on Pizzagate and some other stuff, Wiener's laptop. Got a little interesting. Unfortunately, we didn't get much out of it, but just watching her take on that questioning. And then, of course, Bill, if you can stomach his face peeling off as he speaks, looking like a zombie out there, if you can handle it, it might be worth some of your time. I will continue to post any clips I think are worth from that, but it just came out. And so this is all I had for now, but okay. One more thing I wanted to cover before getting into the main stories of tonight, which is Iran. And then all this talk around Iran with especially with the influencer stuff. Look at what happened in the Supreme Court today. It's a big deal. So Supreme Court is, after the tariff ruling, has gone right back to being conservative, which is good. I did wonder if that was going to happen, and it looks like it is. But Supreme Court today handed a historic victory to parents over California's secret gender transition policies, ruling 6-2 in our case. California was requiring schools to secretly facilitate gender transitions without telling parents. Teachers were forced to use different names and pronouns behind their backs. Today, the court said enough. Justices found California's secrecy regime violates both the First and 14th Amendment protection of parental rights. Court held California cut out the primary protectors of children's best interests, their parents. So a class-wide injunction is now blocking this policy for parents. So just massive. The Supreme Court has spoken. California, this whole taking kids away from their parents or secretly hiding the transition from their parents is done. So thank you, Supreme Court. That's a massive win. And then we got another pretty big win here. U.S. Supreme Court blocked New York's attempt to eliminate a Republican congressional seat. So the gerrymandering wars, the Democrats have responded, but unfortunately they're responding to it in illegal ways. And Supreme Court has now knocked down this one, which bodes well for the Virginia case. In Virginia, they are trying to gerrymander their already voted upon map of 6-5 Democrats, Republicans. They are now trying to change it to 10-1 Democrats. They already voted on it, but because it's in their constitution, the Supreme Court may overturn it, and that's being challenged as well right now. So it could be that it could be overturned. Virginia's new map could be overturned, which would be huge for the Republicans heading into the midterms. Let's see here. Hoping to see Hillary do her head bobble. So Trump is older than Bill, but only by a month. Oh, okay. Okay, so it wasn't as much as I thought, but he's still older than him, and he looks a million times better. He looks 25 years younger. Pretty crazy. Jordan says, who are the two that vote against it? Do they have a track record against going what's right? Yeah. Dude, where you been? I don't know exactly which two, but oh no, it's 6-3. So it was, somebody corrected in the comments. It was 6-3. It was the liberal justices. So Sotomayor, Kagan, and Ketanji stupid Jackson. Okay. Ketanji DEI Jackson. They vote against everything conservative, and they always do. And they never vote for what's right, except for in the rare cases where it's so overwhelmingly obvious that they have to, or they completely would lose even the left, even the Democrats wouldn't trust them anymore, which is very, very rare. So, Tammy, I have never forgotten that. I've covered it many times. So it was the liberal women justices. They always vote against this stuff. Not surprising in the least. I mean, I'm shocked that you guys are shocked. Honestly, this is completely to be expected. Anything that's leftist ideology, they, no matter how insane, they will always vote for it. Excuse me, got a little gunk in my throat. They will always vote for that. So listen, it is what it is. Don't be shocked by it. We have 3 crazy people on the Supreme Court. We just do. Okay. So anyways, all right, let's move on because, we got to get into the big stuff now, but again, just really good news from the Supreme Court. It does show that, to me, it looks like even more proof, the foreign interference. And the reason why is this, because if you control a Supreme Court justice, you're much more likely, you can't have them ruling against everything all the time, because you want to kind of gain trust. You want to pretend they're on the good side. Remember, most of these justices were brought in under Republican administrations. And that way you also get the trust of the people that you're a swing voter. You consider all the facts. And so the fact that Roberts jumped ship on tariffs, Roberts, he's pretty conservative 95% of the time, but on the big stuff, he loves to jump ship. He jumped ship on Obamacare. He jumped ship on the gay weddings, gay marriages. He jumped ship on tariffs. See, he loves to jump ship when it matters most, when it's like the big cases. Now we have 2 more big cases coming up. We have birthright citizenship and we have Voting Rights Act. So is Roberts, with these smaller cases, these more obvious cases, is he just playing ball so he can betray us again? It's going to be interesting to see. He will have to have Barrett or Gorsuch join him again. Barrett is most likely the other one I believe could be under control. Gorsuch, he's a libertarian. And so sometimes he makes decisions that I do believe are out of principle, even though I think they're crazy, even though I think they're insane. Gorsuch is not typical conservative constitutionalist. He is principled libertarian judge. So that's why we lose Gorsuch every once in a while. But we'll see what happens coming up. Okay, let's get into Iran. So Trump, JD Vance, and Rubio were all out making the rounds today, and we got a lot of insight from them, honestly, on why the Iran strikes happened and what to expect going forward. And so here, let's play a couple clips here. So here's Trump. Listen to what Trump had to say on this real quick.
Following our obliteration of Iran's nuclear program in Operation Midnight Hammer a short while ago, we warned Iran not to make any attempt to rebuild at a different location because they were unable to use the ones that we so powerfully blew up. But they ignored those warnings and refused to cease their pursuit of nuclear weapons.
So Trump telling us that they were rebuilding and they were trying to get them to stop. Now, well, wait, we'll get to it in a moment. Here's JD, and this is what MAGA needs to hear. Okay, and when JD says this, I believe him. I do, because everybody who says Trump's inconsistent and he's actually a deep-seated neocon warmonger, Israel controlled president, just like Bush, just like Obama, just like Clinton, just like Bush one. Anytime somebody says that, they're completely ignoring the fact that Trump has been 100% consistent this whole time. You go back to 2012, 2011, 1987, we have clips of Trump saying Iran needs to be dealt with. This has been on Trump's mind for 40 years. It has been in front of him, calling it out on X, Twitter back then, since he first got involved with politics back in 2012. Okay, he has been nothing but consistent in his campaigns. I played the clips last night. He said, bomb the crap out of them. He's been crazy consistent on Iran. So it's a complete lie that that Trump lied to us. J.D. Vance himself said it would be a good thing if Israel attacked Iran first and cleaned up the mess. Okay, he said that before being elected. So these guys are not inconsistent. It's a lie. And what they've shown us in this consistency is that they have done operation after operation and never had boots on the ground, especially not in an elongated, prolonged war kind of way. We're not going to see that, folks. That's where they are consistent. I fully believe that if Iran, they come up with some secret crazy thing that shocks us and would get us stuck, Trump will find a way out. He'll say our mission's been accomplished. The people didn't step up. It's not our job to oversee this change. He won't do it. I really believe that. Now listen to JD, and to me, this is exactly what we need to hear. And they're going on record with this. Tells me that we don't have to worry.
After Iraq and Afghanistan, some people say, "Oh, here we go again." Is that something here you're thinking about?
Well, Jesse, if you think back to Afghanistan, 20 years of mission creep, 20 years of not having a clear objective, and 20 years of the United States trying to bring liberal democracy to Afghanistan. Iraq was a little bit shorter, but we were still in that country for nearly a decade with no clear mission, no clear definition. What's so different about this, Jesse, is that the president has clearly defined what he wants to accomplish. And there's just no way, I said this before the conflict started, I'll repeat it again, there's just no way that Donald Trump is going to allow this country to get into a multi-year conflict with no clear end in sight and no clear objective. What is different about President Trump, and it's frankly different about both Republicans and Democrats of the past, is that he's not going to let his country go to war unless there's a clearly defined objective. He's defined that objective as Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and has to commit long-term to never trying to rebuild their nuclear capability. It's pretty clear, it's pretty simple, and I think that means that we're not going to get into the problems that we've had with Iraq and Afghanistan.
Okay, did you hear exactly what he said? We don't have to worry about this. He said we would not even do this if there wasn't a clear objective. Clear objective means they have an end game. They know exactly what they're doing, exactly what they need to do to get out. This never happened. This didn't happen in Vietnam. This didn't happen in Iraq, Afghanistan. This is kind of new to us, this generation who, we didn't live through World War II. We didn't see the last time we truly were in a successful war that we could be proud of as Americans. We haven't seen this. So now we have a clear objective, and he's telling us, no boots on the ground. We're not getting involved here. This will not be a forever war. I really believe that. Trump knows the art of the deal. What's the art of the deal? Well, there's a lot of factors. He wrote a whole book about it. It's a great book, by the way. It's very fun to read. It's very interesting. One of the art of the deal is you do the big ask, right? You do the big ask, and then you accept what you actually wanted. That's one part. Another part of the art of the deal is you under promise and over deliver. That's constant. Every good marketer knows that. Every good businessman knows that. So Trump, what's he been out there saying? He's been saying we're looking at 4 to 5 weeks, but we are ahead of schedule. He's been saying that over and over again. So what does that mean? It means I personally believe this could be over in 10 days. Will it be? I don't know. I'm not promising that. I am saying that it wouldn't shock me. But even if it's not over in 10 days, even if it takes a month and they wipe out all of Iran's military, the people feel safe to come in, take over their country, and we leave it with a relatively stable country and some guarantees. We won't let terrorists go in there. We'll bomb the snot out of them if they try to take it over. Israel's watching it. If we can leave that and they start rebuilding in that situation, kind of like what we did in Venezuela. I know it's not completely the same, but similar. We leave it, and this goes down as one of the greatest military operations in history. It really does. So I believe Trump is under promising right now, and he's only giving us hints as to what we'll see. Now, JD had more to say. Here's JD breaking down their objective he was speaking of.
You saw evidence that they were still trying to enrich?
Not just that they're trying to enrich, Jesse, and this is one of the almost comical elements of the diplomacy that we've been engaged in for the past month, the past year, I should say. You know, Steve Witkoff, Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, they did such a good job, such a deliberate job. But the Iranians would come back to us, Jesse, and they'd say, well, you know, having enrichment for civilian purposes, for energy purposes, is a matter of national pride. And so we would say, okay, that's interesting, but why are you building your enrichment facilities 70 feet underground? And why are you enriching to a level that's way beyond civilian enrichment and is only useful if your goal is to build a nuclear bomb? Nobody objects to the Iranians being able to build, you know, medical isotopes. The objection is these enrichment facilities that are only useful for building a nuclear weapon. Even some international organizations that usually don't agree with the United States were very clear that Iran's only purpose in building these underground, highly enriched facilities was to build a nuclear weapon. It just doesn't pass the smell test for you to say that you want enrichment for like medical isotopes, while at the same time trying to build a facility 70, 80 feet underground.
Yeah,
Okay, so we made the strikes last year. Trump goes, mission accomplished. We took out their nuke sites, blah, blah, blah. What I'm beginning to believe more and more is that, A, we did take out their initial, you know, we set them back. But what it's really starting to look like is that was kind of like the warning to see what they would do. It was an opportunity for Iran to back off. It was the warning shot. That's what last summer really was. And Trump, Vance is notoriously the most anti-war out of the entire cabinet. So the word is constantly that Vance is always saying, hey, like, let's slow down. Let's think about this. And Trump respects him and listens to him. Vance and Rubio are best friends. So when they finally move forward with it, and you know Vance is satisfied, you know that they're all on the same page and they got to have good reasons for it. What I believe last summer was them knocking out the beginning and saying, okay, Iran, you have a choice now. Let's see what the people do if they start rising up. Let's see if the Ayatollah and his people, they start backing down. They start saying, okay, we're not going to mess with this. This is too scary. Let's give them some time. This was Trump being diplomatic. And it doesn't shock me that they were working with them nonstop. The other thing is it bought us time to weed out sleeper cells here, to eliminate the illegals, to get rid of those who are the most dangerous, that we've been tracking, trying to find. You know, the Trump administration, they came in, the Biden administration left a mess. So it took a while to clean up that mess. It took a while to figure it all out, and they got them. The FBI, the DOJ were singularly focused on weeding all that out along with the deportation. So using DHS as well. They're wiping them out to make sure Americans were safe. Now, the State of the Union was the speech. Why was Trump so confident at the State of the Union? After all he's been through, sagging poll numbers, some issues, why was he so confident? Why did he feel so good? Why was he so measured and not angry, not like the kind of like frustrated Trump we sometimes see? Because in my belief, the State of the Union was the go signal. It was the Democrats' last chance to be like, are you with us? Because this operation's moving. I really think that's what just happened. And Trump, in front of the entire nation, in one majestic, masterful moment, showed that the Democrats are not coming along for the ride. They are not going to flip sides. They are not going to come to the side of what's right. He gave them the chance. He made the entire nation watch them make their choice. And as soon as they were done, as soon as the State of the Union was over, it was go time. And what we do? Operation going after Iran 4 days later, which is, in my opinion, the last major foreign operation militarily that has to happen to decapitate the deep state. because after, at least in a broad way, we're all seeing it. Looks like war. Okay. I really believe that. I do. I think that what we're seeing is Trump is ending the oil that the UK direct pipeline to oil. They're making it harder for China. UK still had an embassy in Iran. Why the hell would you have an embassy in Iran? This awful, awful place. Makes no sense unless there's some deeper connections there. And as I covered the other night, yeah, those connections go back over 100 years, 120 or 118 years to be exact. This is all part of it. This is all part of ending. Like, Trump has been slowly breaking off each arm of City of London, the cabal, breaking arm after arm. And so they're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And now I think he's finally got it condensed to Europe pretty much. Because we're not going to go to a war with India. That would be the next big thing. India is going to be a different animal. But China is its own thing. Enemy, but not the big enemy right now. It's the cabal. And this is it. This is why UK was one of the last places to jump on board. EU, not happy about this. Trump didn't consult NATO on this. Didn't consult the UN. Didn't consult Congress, just told them we're doing it. This was a full go operation completely apart from the deep state. And those who want to say, Israel, you know what? Israel did have a part to play in this. But just because we have similar goals here, because here's the thing with Israel. Israel is not 100% bad. They have bad aspects. They have City of London controls. But what I actually believe is happening, and one of the reasons the PSYOP on Israel has gone to 100, it was at 50 and it made sense. It makes sense between 40 to 60, that level. Call them out for what's wrong, but also recognize they're not the worst nation in the world. Also recognize they don't control the world. If you go in that range, you're safe. That's the safe Israel range. Skeptical. They're not perfect. They're not God's chosen country. They're not God's chosen people. That's all nonsense. That's terrible theology. That's just not true. But they're also not the great evil in the world. That's so stupid. It's a less than 80-year-old country of smaller than New Jersey. Yeah, okay. That's so stupid. But there is some truth to it. There's a little bit of truth to it. And what I believe is Israel is actually trying to get out of it. That they're trying to get out from under City of London, out from under MI6, out from under the cabal. And I believe this is a part of it. And that doesn't mean Netanyahu is good. I think there's much more going on than that. Okay? I can't prove it right now, but I can tell you it makes a whole lot more sense based on what Trump's doing, not based on anybody else. And everybody trying to say Israel's did this, Israel. No. But Israel does have signals in this. Israel has their interest in this. The truth about Israel, though, shows how many times Trump has rejected them, how many times Trump has made Bibi stop. That is what nobody pays attention to, even though it's happened multiple times. He's the only president who ever told Bibi no. Ever. It's not happening with this administration. Now, somebody asked in the chat, can we trust Israel to oversee rebuilding? Israel's not going to oversee the rebuilding. I don't believe that at all. I just believe Israel is going to serve as a check to make sure none of the bad guys come back in. They'll be like watching it closely from right there. That's what I believe will happen. But I don't believe Trump's going to let Israel pick its leaders, because Israel would want to install somebody who's just pro-Jew, pro-Israel. That's not what Trump wants. Trump wants to get it to the people. He wants the Persians to run Iran, which means, from a religious standpoint, Zoroastrians and Christians. That's what most of the Persians are. They're not Jews and they're not Muslims. The Muslim Brotherhood took over Iran's government in 1979 and never let go and has oppressed these people. But the people of Persia are not that. By the way, let's get it back to calling it Persia. Do you know what the word Iran means? Do you know where Iran came from? The word Iran is Arabic for Aryan. They changed the name from Persia to Iran to celebrate what Hitler was doing because they were partnered with Hitler. But that started after the Brits came in 1908. Very interesting stuff, the history here, which most of us have ignored because we just look at them and be like, Muslim nation, bad nation. Listen, I'm guilty. I did that for years. I didn't study it, and now I have. It's much different than you think. But they are absolutely who they are today because of the deep state. So, but Trump wants them to be Persian. That's extremely clear. Israel's not going to be in charge of it. Israel's got its own issues, and Trump's not letting them get into their worse, their you know, the bad aspects of Israel. Trump is not letting spread. In fact, I believe he's weeding it out, and that's going to take time. It is, but those studying Trump, studying his relationship with Israel, it's very clear that even though he's done some amazing things for Israel, he's done it for the people. He hasn't done the stuff that, like, Gaza's the ultimate example. Bibi allowed the attack on October 7th. It's so obvious. There's no way that border attack could have happened if it hadn't been allowed in. There's just no way. Israel has the greatest defenses in the world, their best surveillance systems, the best intelligence in the world. It's impossible. It happened. They came across the border, slaughtered 1,000. It was horrific. I mean, Hamas should be obliterated because of that. Absolutely. I don't even care that if they were let in, they should still be obliterated. That was Israel's 9/11, and they used it, and they blew up Gaza. I mean, and a lot of innocents died. Let's be honest about it. This is where we get to be honest about Israel. Okay? This is where we're honest about the fact that they did too much. It was disgusting. They killed a lot of Christians. Okay? There's more Christians in Gaza than there is in Israel. It's terrible stuff. And they went too far. But the reason they went too far is because they saw their chance to take back that land. They were going to raise it to the ground and take it. And the number one proof that Trump is not controlled by Israel is the fact that he didn't allow that. Do you guys remember the very first press conference Trump had with Bibi after coming back? In front of everybody in the world, this was on national TV, the reporters asking him in the press room, he said, maybe we'll take over Gaza and rebuild it. And Bibi shot a look at him like, what did you just say? And then he was left fumbling. That was Trump saying, Israel doesn't control me, guys. And Trump ending that is the proof he isn't owned by Israel. So I hate that narrative. It's so stupid. It's so easy to debunk. Because no one who says Trump's controlled by Israel can explain to me why he didn't let them take Gaza. Good luck. Try to explain it to me. Now, I said all that because now we're going to learn the role Israel did play in this. And it's important. And I'm going to explain it. Here's Marco.
The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act. Going back.
Okay, did you catch that? It had gotten to the point where Israel was going to take out Khomeini, and it was done. Now, there's a lot of people who are going to say, see, this proves it. Israel forced Trump's hand. But did it, though? Tell me why Trump has been moving troops over there for the last month. Not troops as much, but, our ships have been moving over there. Our bases have been building up again. This was all coming to a head. And Trump, getting frustrated, I believe he gave Israel the go-ahead. Start. And Rubio's telling us that if Israel attacked, we had no choice. So he's building the case of why we went preemptive. This shields the Trump administration from responsibility. And Israel is the first one who struck. Okay? So they went for it, and the Trump administration was ready to go. But this is not something that just Israel caused, because if it was, we wouldn't have been building up for the last month. Bibi wanted to go a month ago, and he came here and stormed out. And Axios reported that Bibi was saying, are they even with us anymore? That tells me that Trump said him to F off. I'm not doing this right now. So the evidence, again, is overwhelming, but it does tell you that it was time to go. And as PDB says here, Rubio confirmed, we all knew, but no one wanted to say they hit because Israel moved. Once Israel struck, Iran was going to hit us. Now Israel can go in and do the dirty work without us taking the blowback. This is a joint operation. Okay. A joint operation. And we got a troll in here. Goodbye. It's a joint operation because we don't have to put boots on the ground. We're going to get everything we want from this, which is Iran being decapitated, the Ayatollah gone, this regime gone. The Persians get to take back their own country, and Trump doesn't have to put any American troops on the ground. Now, we've lost 6 Americans. That's horrible. It's horrible. Every American death sucks. But this is war. And in war, this stuff happens. And it's like, I don't like to say any soldier's death was worth it. But at the same time, sometimes things have to happen and horrible things happen. But they've been attacking our ships, and we've suffered some casualties. All right, here's Rubio more, just going on about why he didn't notify Congress. Said we did notify the Gang of 8 more than Biden ever notified us. When I was on the Gang of 8, he says there is no law the president broke, which is absolutely true. Nobody would know better than Rubio. He served as a senator the last several years. But Rubio didn't just say it. Nancy Pelosi has said it before.
So, Madam Speaker, or Madam Leader, you're saying that the president did not need authorization initially and still does not need any authorization from Congress on Libya?
Yes.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Interesting. I guess you don't need presidential, or you don't need congressional approval to strike, just like Obama did on Libya. See, we're being lied to so much. It is crazy. Now, Rubio did say a lot more. It was a 12-minute thing. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's too long. But here are the takeaways from what Rubio said. Iran currently producing 100+ ballistic missiles per month and thousands of one-way attack drones, aiming to build retaliatory shield that would make its nuclear program untouchable. So this is the other thing they were doing, is that they were continuing to build their nuclear program, and they were doing it underground. But on top of that, they were starting to build a defense around it so that if the Trump administration, Israel, whoever ever came to take out their nukes again, they would have the cover to stop it. and they were calling it a point of immunity. Iran was approaching a point of immunity within 1.5 years, where its missile and drone stockpiles could deter any strike. Sanctions failed to stop it. Operation was timed while Iran's weakened before it reaches it. U.S. intelligence assessed Iran would immediately retaliate against U.S. forces, so preemptive action reduced the casualties. Mission focused, destroying ballistic missile launchers, stockpiles, drone capabilities. No ground invasion planned. I can't iterate that enough. Regime change not official goal, but U.S. would welcome it. Congress notified. U.S. denies targeting civilians, and they've actually done an incredible job on that by all reports. Iran controls roughly 20% of global energy flows via Strait of Hormuz. No active diplomacy underway. In fact, Trump keeps rejecting it. It's total surrender at that point, or nothing. That's where we're at. But very interesting. So after last year, again, this just plays more in my theory that after the strikes last year, Trump gave them time to see what they would do. Instead of dispersing, instead of backtracking and saying, we're done, we're not messing with this Trump administration, this military, we will give them what they want. Instead, they doubled down. And Trump, who, again, has been saying this for 40 years, extremely consistent, was watching it and saying, how can we stop them? How can we stop them without doing boots on the ground, without a forever war? And they game planned it for the last 10 months. And now we're seeing the result. One of the most effective strikes, one of the most effective war offensive we've ever seen. On top of that, when it says intelligence assessed Iran would immediately do that, that's Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, who along with Vance, is staunchly anti-war. Why? They both served. Tulsi and Vance both served in the military. Both do not want to see service members die. Both experienced Iraq and Afghanistan, the hell it was, not having an out. They both experienced it, and they said, no. We've seen what boondoggles are. We've seen what getting stuck is. We've seen what wars not being fought to win are. We don't want any part of it. And they both signed off. They both signed up with the Trump administration in the first place, got elected in, and then they both said, we sign off on this. Guys, if we can't trust these people who have had stellar track records of being anti-forever wars, who are we going to trust? I mean, some influencer on a microphone spewing nonsense because they're angry or because they're being paid to? No, we don't trust those people. It's disgusting. The logic trail is easy to follow here. It is easy to make the case that this is not what we've seen in the past. And everybody saying it is flat out lying. They're either lying or lazy. And honestly, the lazy is even worse in a way, because if you're lazy, it means you don't take that job seriously when you're influencing millions of people. That's sick. I respect the liars even more. Here's Hegseth with just a banger right now. Listen to this.
Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel.
How awesome is that? That quote will stick. I love it. It's so good. All right, let's keep up with what's going on in Iran and give you guys some of the real reports, because there's so much noise out there. Here's Buzz Patterson, who Buzz is a friend of the show. He did an interview on this show a year and a half ago. Love Buzz. I should reach out to him, have him back someday, especially now with all this stuff going on. But great guy. If you guys ever go back and watch that interview on my channel, he talked about working for Clinton. Fascinating stuff. Buzz says, I just spoke with buddies on the front lines of the air campaign with Iran. I asked them how the morale was. They said to a man, it was off the charts high. The troops are all for this, guys. They're loving it. They actually have leaders allowing them to do their job. One friend said the guys are stoked. They're excited. We're leaning into it. When you drop to your knees tonight, please say a prayer for our men and women in uniform. Pray they come back. Please pray for the people of Iran. They'll be free. Absolutely. But this is the main part I wanted to show you guys. Just the morale was off the charts high. That's how it feels when you have real leaders, which we haven't had in our military in a very long time. This is not the military I grew up with, the military of Vietnam. This is not that. This is lean, mean fighting machines who know they get to do their job and they're stoked about it. And this is how successful we've been so far. Remember, guys, it hasn't even been 3 days yet. 2 days ago, Iranian regime had 11 ships in the Gulf of Oman. Today they have 0. The Iranian regime harassed and attacked international shipping in the Gulf of Oman for decades. Those days are over. Freedom of maritime navigation has underpinned American and global economic prosperity for more than 80 years. U.S. forces will continue to defend it. That's incredible. 11 gone. 11 gone. Isn't that unbelievable? Just insane. What we're doing, guys, I'm telling you, history books are going to be written about this offensive. It's off the charts. John Fetterman, the only sane Democrat in Congress, and it took him having a stroke to get there. The stroke reset his brain, and he woke up and said, I might be a Republican, but I can't say that. He says, every member in the U.S. Senate agrees we can't allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. Every member in the Senate, all 100 of us. I'm baffled why so many are unwilling to support the only action to achieve that. Empty sloganeering versus commitment to global security, which is it? He just called out all the Democrats and Rand Paul. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Foxglove writes, I just turned 66 and never seen it either. It's awesome about the military. I love it. Love it. TFCS, his first time here came because we mentioned Candace. Wanted to check if you're fighting her lunacy or agreeing with her. Oh, there's no Candace love over here, my friend. None at all. But thank you for watching. By the way, guys, I've been running pretty hard tonight. Haven't slowed down. So please, let's take a break for 1 second. And so I can ask you guys to like and subscribe. Just take 1 second to do that. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps the channel. If YouTube has granted you the hype button, if you wouldn't mind hitting that, that really helps boost this channel. So thank you for that. And if you're on X, if you wouldn't mind reposting, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And finally, if you really enjoy the channel and you want more members lives, members podcasts, 24/7 Discord with myself and many community members, the best community online, I gotta say, you can get for free for 1 month by going in the description, hitting the Patreon link. It'll give you a free month of my membership, and then it's only $5 a month after that if you want to continue supporting the channel. And if you're on X, it is on the pinned post on my profile. You can get that free month right there. So thank you guys. Foxglove, appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the channel. Love to have it. This is the best community online. This YouTube channel, Rumble, X, and of course the Discord is where it really shines. So so glad you guys are here. Okay, let's continue on here. Brian Cates, great stuff. Always great stuff. This is wild, okay? This is what Israel is doing to stop missiles right now. Watch this. They are taking out missiles with freaking lasers. How crazy is that? So much more efficient and cheap. And you're not going to run out of that laser. Where you launch, this is not the Iron Dome. This is Iron Beam. They're using lasers now, blowing up missiles in the launch stage with lasers. Isn't that wild? I mean, the technology we're starting to see. Remember, we saw technology we'd never seen before in Venezuela, where the Venezuelan military said our weapons wouldn't work. What kind of tech is that? That's wild. And we got in and out of Venezuela, took Maduro, no casualties. And yes, it took heroic efforts by a Medal of Honor, now Medal of Honor winner, to do that, but still no casualties. Amazing, amazing operation. Now what's going on in Iran, just incredible stuff. And we are just seeing the wildest technologies, guys, that, we were told, like, we're going to get stuck all the time. And we might be the world's best military, but somehow, the people, the shepherds with 50-year-old rifles can fight us off in these terror countries. No, it's just more and more proof that we are way ahead of the curve and we just didn't use what we had. It's the craziest stuff. So how's everybody feeling about this? Well, voters are showing they love the Maduro raid and want to see more of it in our hemisphere. What's that tell you? That most people are likely to support this as well, so long as we don't get stuck. 66% of voters think we should take a more aggressive stance against dictators propped up by Russia and China as well. And then, guys, just after the State of the Union, the people are coming back together. Increase in those feeling better about the economy. 52% now say it's better. 60% like Trump's State of the Union. And we are now to 50-50 Democrat-Republican. How much are we being lied about? Okay? How much are they lying to us about everything? We were told the Democrats are going to run away with this election. Well, I told you after the State of the Union, I said, if this is the Trump we see, we're going to win big. And now we're in Iran and what is everybody saying? Oh, this is going to lose the election. The people hate it. Well, this poll was taken just before Iran, but the initial results on Iran, the initial reactions are very positive, except for the grifting crowd. And you know why they're panicking, guys? They're panicking because they know they're losing and it's time to deploy all assets. And we're seeing it. And I got to tell you, it sucks. I'll be the first to admit it. There are people I liked and trusted who've done great work on many subjects who are now turning against Trump because turns out they were assets all along. I can tell you, listen, I run this channel for 3+ years, right? I do marketing for a living. That's what I do for my day job. I'm very good at it. Not tooting my own horn, but I'm good at it. There's a reason I became a marketing director in just 5 years. I'm very good. But I don't put money into this channel. I don't pay for ads. I don't pay for reach. I don't pay for bots. And I have a very loyal following. In 3 years, I've built that. I haven't reached 10,000 subscribers yet. Now, sometimes you can organically bump. It's very possible. But 99% of the time, when a channel comes up fast, there's money behind it. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that's okay. Because maybe they just have the money to advertise, and that's fine. But a lot of that time, it's pumped from behind. There's somebody bankrolling them. They're the face of something. We've proven this with Democrats time and time again. Well, I'm telling you, now we're seeing it on the MAGA side of things. We're seeing all these people who have been big voices in MAGA Inc., Con Inc., and we're seeing them reveal their true colors more and more and more. And this is going to go down as one of the great things, if maybe the greatest, that Trump has done for us. And today, we're starting to see some very interesting things. Let me start with this right here. James Lindsay, who I've had my issues with James. I don't agree with him on everything. But I do think he's a free thinker. Let me put it that way. And today, Matt Walsh has just gone off the deep end. He is freaking out. Okay? And he's calling out the war. He's calling out Trump. He's calling out MAGA and conservatives. Now, Matt Walsh, I've always watched kind of carefully. I'm not a big Matt Walsh fan. He's Daily Wire. Daily Wire is basically Israeli propaganda. It is. Ben Shapiro has even said he's more loyal to Israel than America. Ben Shapiro created Daily Wire. Matt Walsh works for him. Do the math. But Matt Walsh has been a pretty reliable voice. And until today. Now, it's interesting because this Iran strike is breaking the brains of many influencers. Now, is it possible some of them just have a moral principle disagreement and they haven't done the work? Absolutely. And I'll allow for that. This is the first time I've truly seen Matt kind of cave. But I do want to point out what James says here because it's very interesting. Because James is an expert at finding the grifters. James got started. He became famous because he went to the psychology papers, you know, the peer-reviewed papers on psychology and studying scientific stuff going on in sociology and trends. And he created a bunch of fake papers. Those fake papers were wild. One of them was like studying the effect of lesbian dogs. It was the craziest stuff. And he just made it all up. But it was leftist propaganda. So he made it all up and submitted them. And all these journals published them. His papers, his fake papers won awards. And then he later pulled the rug out from them and let everybody know they were fake. And it just completely exposed the scientific community in the psychology world. That's how James made his name. So he is an expert at spotting grifts. James says this about Matt today. He's doing his shtick. It's incredible. It says, let me draw your attention to the phrase regime change war. Now, this is interesting. This is the play he's running, or one of them. He wants you to think of covert CIA ops done for bad reasons, and especially Bush doctrine lies and manipulations. He's talking about Matt Walsh. His goal is tap into the broad sense of dissatisfaction many Americans feel regarding foreign interventionism on false pretenses and the deep demoralization many feel about engagements in the Gulf under Bush doctrine, not to mention war on terror in Afghanistan. Now, the rest of this I'm going to substitute when he says he, and I'm going to say they, because this isn't Matt alone. It's all of them. This is what I'm seeing from all of the grifters online, and they're all doing this. And I've been calling it out for weeks now. Actually, I've been calling it out for months. As far as I know, I did my first video on calling out the grifters in MAGA over a year ago. And I haven't seen anybody else. Nobody else did it that early. And now I'm showing you guys. Okay, it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. Those who watch this show, you guys are in the know. I alerted you guys to this a long time ago. Now, I don't know all of them because they didn't always reveal themselves. They're all deployed at different times. But it's funny because now with Iran, they kind of all are coming out of the woodwork. It makes me wonder, who's left? Who's left after this? Because we're going to go through today, and after today, I'm wondering who's left. Because there's not that many left from where we're at of these big names in MAGA world. There's just not. Especially not after the Epstein Files revealed who Steve Bannon really was. And with Bannon, you get his associations, all of his buddies. I'm not saying everybody's ever had on a show, because that's ridiculous. Some stuff he does is good. I'm saying the network, the regulars, Posobiec, Barris, Raheem Kassam, Mark Mitchell. These are the regulars, and there's many more. That's his circle. That's the Bannon network. And everything I've seen since the Epstein Files tells me that Bannon is one of the great grifters, because he's the only one that I know of that actually built a network around it. The game they're playing is that any war striker intervention that involves taking out a malevolent actor and even allowing the evil regime to be replaced is the same kind of regime change war you know and hate. It's a standard woke style decontextualization. This is so true. This is what Dave Smith's doing. Candace Owens is doing. Ian Carroll's doing. Nick Fuentes is doing. 100% true. The smart ones like Bannon aren't as obvious about it, but they're doing the same thing. They're just a little more subtle. Bannon likes to have people come on and do it for him because Bannon's smart. He can't do it himself. He doesn't want to lose what he has. Bannon might be the smartest of all of them. Alex Jones is right there. The way the decontextualizations work is by removing specific content of the situation on many levels and hiding that blurred understanding behind a morally charged term. Here, regime change war, The goal is to get you to stop thinking and start feeling. And the feelings he wants you to have are negative feelings. My God, that is exactly what they do. It's the Candace Owens thing. You know how many people, every time I've called out Candace, come on my show and yell at me or leave nasty comments? They get so mad when I'm mean to Candace Owens. Candace tells the truth, yo. Dude, it's so easy to debunk her. It's crazy. She is such a fraud. And yet she tells a good story because Candace knows how to manipulate your emotions. Candace tells you what you want to hear. Candace knows exactly how to see. Candace isn't smart, book smart, the way we think she are. I used to think she was, but now I've realized she's actually not that smart. Just listen to how she says anecdote. You don't say that if you're smart, but she's very clever, very clever. And Candace knows she's got street smarts, and those street smarts are what con men use for the most part. And she is so good at it. She knows, she can feel how to say something that just says, boom, like gets your emotions, shocks you, makes you feel like, oh my God, how? It makes you feel, how could it be true and how could it not be true at the same time? It's very clever. But that's exactly, by the way, like I said, marketing is about feeling. Every good marketer worth their salt knows that people make purchases based on emotion. You say right there, as soon as I say it, you say, no, I don't. I think about it. No, you don't. You don't. Over time, sometimes you might build up to something logically. It's possible. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I'm saying the vast majority of the time, our purchases are emotional. And most of the time we think it's logical, but it's because our emotions started it. And then we just started convincing ourselves why it made sense. That's what good marketers know. And that's what most of these influencers are. Some of them are very smart, like Bannon, very smart. And some of them are just clever. There's the same reason woke people call everything Israel does a genocide or ethnic cleansing. Young Turks, anybody? They are decontextualizing and using superficial similarities and bad arguments to treat different things like they're the same things and packaging them all up inside a negative, emotionally charged term they can attach to a target they want to discredit. Yep. The very best thing that can be said about this kind of posting is something else indicated by something else he said in a similarly misleading fashion. The fact is he has no trust in President Trump, and his counter-signaling him is meant to undercut confidence in him with his base. Yet again, at a crucial time, after previously saying Trump is a mandate. What did I just say? Crucial time. Iran strikes. Crucial times. Crucial. Roger, talk about Mike Flynn. I hate to tell you guys, I think Mike Flynn's a bad actor. I do. I'll tell you why in a minute. He can and will and has decontextualized this point too, as others have noticed it's the case. Turn that claim into a lie. People are asking him to blindly trust Trump by turning trust Trump into a blurry concept, hides his intentions, motivates his shtick. People insisting there are fundamental differences between Trump and Bush doctrine, showing Matt that Trump has made his decision with high levels of intelligence capability, but this got blurred out into trust Trump and swap for a dumb, blind faith. This is what they do, guys. He says, I don't know what to tell you. It's deliberate. Been deliberate and consistent a couple of years now. He's so right. Look at it. He calls it out right here. Mac bashes anyone who even slightly sees through it, followed by getting swarmed by groypers and neo-Nazis, all the rest in a weird and obvious way. It's so obvious. And I'm so glad I'm not the only one seeing it. Again, Lindsay, don't agree with him on everything, but this he nails it. And I use different words, but I've told you guys every single thing in this over the last year. Every time we've done one of these breaking down, calling out the grifters, I've broken this down. And he just did it much more intellectual than I did. But real quick, since I just led into it, why do I think Mike Flynn's a bad actor? Well, I used to really trust Flynn, but it weirds me out when Trump doesn't bring people into his inner circle. He had Bannon in his inner circle and kicked him out. and called him out online afterwards. Then Bannon became a big deal in MAGA, and now neither of them can turn on each other publicly because it'd be too damaging to the base and too damaging to Bannon's show. He can't do it. He can't call Trump out. So they need each other, at least for now. That's Bannon's genius. Mike Flynn doesn't even get recognized by Trump. He was a liberal. Obama hired him. Yes, I know Obama also fired him. Trump did pardon Flynn, and then he was like, peace. Now, Flynn has his own network, but they're not public about it. And there is a group of influencers who are with Flynn, and they play things very carefully. Remember, Flynn is intelligence. Flynn is very smart about how to play the game. He knows how to signal, counter signal. And there's things Flynn does. He criticizes Trump, but he does in very subtle ways. And it's what Flynn does is slowly eroding stuff while also making a ton of money, because MAGA, especially Q types, which I'm one of them, have uplifted Mike Flynn to heroic status. And I have, because of all this, and because Trump has never brought Flynn back in, I have severe doubts about Flynn. I'm not saying I'm 100% on Flynn. I'm not, but I'm 97%. I'm just waiting for that final tip over to where I can say I'm full in. And so that's how I feel on Flynn right now. Okay, this is what's been going on. This is actually very funny, so I want to portray it. I just lost a bunch of viewers when I was talking about Flynn, so I think a lot of people didn't like that. And that's another reason I don't grow fast, okay? Because I piss people off by being honest. People don't like that. They want to hear what they want to hear, and that's okay. But thanks to everybody else who's stuck it out. Even if you disagree with me, call it out. Tell me why I'm wrong about Flynn. I'm happy for it. Don't just bail. If you liked everything else, you can handle that. All right. Thomas Massie ran a poll today, and it wasn't what he wanted, because he said, should Congress debate the objectives of war with Iran? And it was the lowest on the totem pole. And so he pulled the poll. Right before he pulled the poll, the trust the president part had gotten up to 40% and was winning. And so Massie, not happy about this poll. Oh yeah, here's the final right here. Trust the president. Not happy about his poll, pulled it, and started blaming it on bots. I ended this poll in 1 hour as the accounts from Cyprus and Europe tried to hijack it. Really? The accounts from Cyprus and Europe? Do you know what people have found about Massie is that many of the people that defend Massie in their chats and their comment sections are bots. So Massie's basically saying, like, those bots I paid for, why aren't they doing their job? Anyways, I love when this stuff blows up in their face. It is the funniest thing. But he wasn't the only one. This was a great day for people trying to poll on X. Hodge Twins ran a poll. Oh, Thomas Massie's other poll he ran. Do you want a U.S.-led war with Iran? 52% yes. Hodge Twins, are you happy with President Trump bombing Iran twice so far? 68% yes. Cenk Uyghur, who's done more damage to the world? Khomeini or Netanyahu? 68% Khomeini. Had to drive Cenk nuts. And then here's Massie's poll that I just covered. It's so funny, guys. These guys are trying to get results they can show off, and they're getting the exact opposite. Absolutely hilarious. But it tells me, and this is what makes me excited, it tells me that the people are waking up. That these guys who are noisy, who have microphones, who have followers and big shows, think they have their pulse, or they have their finger on the pulse. But the people are rejecting it, and it's showing that their influence is nowhere near what it feels like they can be. It is hilarious to watch. Candace Owens today. Let's just talk about this for a second. I don't want to do this whole thing, but she was going off about the war with Iran today. Says, Charlie Kirk's the only person stopping war with Iran. Did you guys watch my show last night? I completely debunked that. Charlie was not it. In fact, what Charlie was doing was holding back the grifters. Anyways, watch my segment last night. I'm actually reposting that segment by itself as a short video. It'll be live tomorrow morning. So if you don't want to just go through my show and you can wait and you miss this segment where I break down how Charlie, what we really lost with Charlie, not what they say we lost with Charlie. If you want to watch that, it'll be live tomorrow morning as a separate video. It is just a clip of my segment from last night, but that way you don't have to watch all last night's show. So, but says that's the reason they killed him. So now she's done this before. She blamed the Trump administration for killing Charlie before. Now she's doing it again because of the Iran war. Says the plan was set in motion after Charlie spoke against war with Iran. So Charlie was killed. We got not. This is, I mean, who still believes this woman? She is insane. It is disgusting what she's doing. She is making millions off Charlie Kirk's death. The guy she supposedly cares so much about. This woman is going to milk this as long as people tune in. And unfortunately, still a lot of people are tuning in. Not as much as before, but it's still happening because she's really good at marketing. It is gross. It is so gross. So I'm not going to go through the rest because that's not what I'm interested in tonight. But the point is her entire show is a grift. Candace, I've broken it down on my other videos, her entire past. You can go watch those if you want. Just go to the Candace Owens playlist on my channel. You'll see how I break it down time and time again. But this woman is disgusting. And we got to get it out there. We have to keep spreading it because she's hurting good people. And I'm not worried about MAGA as a movement. I'm really not. I think we are well equipped to handle this. I don't think we're going to be broken apart by these people. I really don't, because MAGA, the real MAGA, knows to trust President Trump. We know President Trump is MAGA. He is our leader. He is our founder. He will lead us to the promised land. I have no doubts about that. And if he chooses a successor, that's who I follow. I know who my leader is. I trust him. He's been the one that's gone through the fire for me. He's been the one who's brought results to my country, not Candace Owens, not Nick Fuentes, not Thomas Massie, not Matt, whatever his face is. I don't even care right now. I can't remember his last name. Doesn't matter. All right, let's go through Massie. Remember I showed you the other night, he's being paid by the same people who pay for the squad, fund them. Well, now his war powers resolution to block President Trump is co-sponsored by the squad. You cannot make this up. Who still trusts this guy? I want to know. All I do right now on X is call out these people. It's what I'm doing. It's what I feel like I'm supposed to do. And you know how many people that even I respect just can't see it? It's crazy to me. How much more obvious do you have to get than this? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't understand how people can be that blank, can be that daft, where they still think these people are the ones fighting for them. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Here's a fun one. The Hodge Twins just got busted. Now, this has happened to them before. This happened to them a year ago, half a year ago, where they were posting one thing on X and another on Facebook because they were catering to different audiences. And so they had completely different opinions. Well, they just got busted again. They play to the boomers on Facebook and the youngers on X, and they post completely different things. Hodge Twins on X. F Iran, F Israel. I don't support either one. Americans shouldn't be sent to die. They can fight their own wars. We have enough problems at home. End the war, Donald Trump. On Facebook, we voted for Trump for the third time in 2024. We trust he'll do what's right for America. This is posted on the same day. It's unbelievable, guys. This is so crazy. So crazy. These people are getting sloppy. The Hodge Twins are obviously stupid. that they think we wouldn't see this. I mean, how stupid do you have to be? But my God, folks, how many of them are grifters? Are any of them any good? So, okay, so here, and this one I don't like as much. I've been having my doubts for a while, and I didn't want this to be true, even though I had a feeling it was. I was holding out, and I'll admit it. Listen, I have biases myself because this person did incredible work leading up to the election. This person has done incredible work since the election. I love her show. Most of the time, not all the time, but for the most part, I love her show. But today, she flipped, and she finally showed who she really was, and that's Megyn Kelly. Now, I know some of you have been like, Megyn, it sucks, Megyn sucks, and I get it. You've been coming after me, and I've been holding off. I've been like, I need to see it. I need to see something I can't ignore. I didn't want to believe it. Because Megyn, I like Megyn. I've always kind of had a crush on her. See, I'm human too. But she, like I said, she's done great work. And some of her shows have been fantastic, calling out stuff. But today was the day. She completely turned. She's completely exposing herself because not only did she just espouse a different belief, that's fine. You can have your disagreements. It's how she did it, which was so obvious. And then she had Marjorie Taylor Greene on, which right now, Marjorie Taylor Greene is the major red flag. If I see Marjorie Taylor Greene being propped up by somebody, I know that person's part of the team. Just like Bannon having it one of the other days. Megyn Kelly, no one should have to die for a foreign country. I don't think those service members died for the U.S. I think they died for Iran or Israel. Our government's job is not to look out for Iran or Israel. It's the same tired script. Same tired script, guys. It's insane. I got to tell you, it's just... Wiggins says on Hodge Twins, their wives run Facebook, they run Twitter. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. They probably sit right next to each other in their parents' basement telling each other what to post. It doesn't matter. You understand? It's the same thing. So Megyn, after today, I can't trust her. I completely cannot trust her. So she, like, to do this as your first show back, if they were saying this and after 3 months and we were stuck, okay, I get it. I get it. You can start really coming out with the criticism now. But to say it on the first morning of the week after one of the most effective offensive campaigns ever performed. Are you kidding me? You come out with this bull crap? You don't do this unless you're paid or you're playing to an audience. And in my opinion, they're both just as bad. They're just as bad. I'll come to that later. Whoopsies. Here is MTG. Brendan Dilley, who's been great at calling out the FAGA influencers, as he likes to call them. I love it. He's been calling out. It says, turns out she's the same skeevy pirate hooker now she was in 2016. He had tried to warn all of us. You did, Brendan, but I didn't want to believe it. I held out. She did great work. What can I say? Says, make America great again when it's supposed to be America first. Brings on MTG. I'm sorry. You bring this woman on. She is the ultimate grifter. Marjorie Taylor Greene, elected in 2020, right as Trump was leaving, pretends to be this huge MAGA person, sides with Kevin McCarthy, who is complete rhino deep stater Republican, sides with him, all this other crazy stuff that just was not MAGA, and then joins Massie with the whole Epstein grift. Marjorie, we don't believe it. We see you for who you are. And then she quits, which is the lamest thing you could ever do, because it shows you're not a true believer either way. Because if you stay, you're a true believer who's fighting. Massie stayed, at least. I mean, I hate him, but you give him props for fulfilling his mission. Marjorie bailed. She bailed the second it got hard. And that tells me she only cares about herself. She's not fighting for America like she says she is. And she's not even fighting against Trump. Like now she says she has to. It's so pathetic. This woman is so absolutely pathetic. She is so awful. And you know who also had her on the other day, right after the Epstein Files? Bannon. You can't make this stuff up. It's so crazy. Oh my God. And then there's this. I've been holding out on this one for a while. I have seen so many warning signs, but I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to go there. And I was thrown off by his access to the White House. But after today, I can no longer go there. And that's Mr. Tucker Carlson. Tucker did an entire hour and a half today about how the Iran war is Israel, and Israel has co-opted our government. Israel has taken President Trump, and President Trump's doing whatever Israel wants. A whole hour and a half on it. And what Tucker thinks is he's going to come out here as this brave soul, but I'm telling you guys, he just blew all the. He's going to lose a lot of support over this one because MAGA loves Tucker. Tucker has done a lot of good for us in the campaign up to the election. He was fantastic. His speech at the RNC is one of the best speeches I've ever seen. His turning point where he was debating students, one of the best ever. It was so good. And Tucker has done amazing stuff, but it's been a slow drip with guests he's had on, with people he's platforming. Nick Fuentes, really? Ian Carroll, really? It's been getting worse and worse. And then he did this today. And this is the end. And this is how I knew it was the end. Because I like Tucker so much on a personal level. I just like his show, and I like how he explains things. He's like somebody I felt like I wanted to could hang out with and enjoy, because I do. Tucker makes me, I just enjoy him. But after today, I still was like, oh my God, this is so bad. And then Trump, the man I trust the most, which I always tell you guys, I trust Trump over everything. He put the final nail in the coffin. This is from reporter Rachel Bade, political junkie from, several places. Phone call with me right now. Donald Trump hit back at MAGA world critics of his Iran gambit, including Megyn Kelly and Tucker. About Kelly, ought to study her history book a little bit, he said when asked on a criticism on her show today. Tucker's criticism has no impact on me. MAGA is with me. I think MAGA is Trump. MAGA's not the other two. That, my friends, is a direct assault on Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson. By calling them out like this, that's the signal. And it's very interesting to me that Trump held Tucker close for so long. He never held Kelly close, but Kelly went all in on pro-Trump. Okay. But it took a while for him to out Tucker. And I wonder why. I really do. Someday maybe we'll know. But Trump is very smart. And he does keep enemies close sometimes. I mean, Tucker was campaigning with him. Tucker was at the election ceremony. So Interesting stuff. But I got to say that they showed their true colors today. And then for Trump to confirm it, this is a shot across the bow. So I've been exposing a lot of influencers here. Some of them shocked me. Some of them I saw coming a mile away. Some of them I knew from the very instant they came out, like Ian Carroll. That guy, well, I've already done my piece on him. But Tucker and Megyn, I did hold out on longer. Okay. I gave them, props for what they did. But the Tucker one is the big one. And I just, at this point, just as Trump just signaled us, I'm going to need Trump to re-signal me back in. But it comes down to what I've said all along. We got to trust Trump. All these people, man. And this Iran war, which I got to believe that one of the reasons Trump is doing this, it's not just because it makes sense. It's not just because it takes down the city, the city of London. It's not just because it weakens the cabal and the deep state. It's not just because it's reasserting American authority and showing off our military power and giving the Persians freedom. It's not because of all those things. I mean, it is because of all those things, but it's not only because of all those things. I also believe it's because he's gone so far now. This first year, now we're 14 months in. This first 14 months of his second term have been chipping away at all the cabal's control, all the deep state's control. Boom, boom, boom. Take out this. Foreign policy, boom. Change the economy with the one big beautiful bill. Boom. Just slowly doing it. Removing terrorist cells, removing the criminals, deporting, just knocking out their strength here and there. That with the midterms coming up, I have a feeling he knew that if he pushed and went all in on something like this, it would also finally expose, because MAGA has been suffering, not like falling apart suffering, but hurting. Ever since Charlie died, we've been in a lot of pain, and we've been kind of trying to get our footing again. And we've had influencers telling us all this stuff, and Candace has been lying about TPSA and Erica Kirk, and that was the great movement. And Tucker's been having these weird people on, kind of undermining the Trump administration. We've had, Megyn Kelly just doing pretty good, but taking little digs here and there. It's like all over the place. And I feel like Trump was finally like, it's time to reveal them all. And he forced them all in the open with this. I really do believe that had to be at least be a small part of it, because it's working so well. It can't be accidental. They're all out right now. All of them. Even the ones that I was on the fence about. Even the ones I didn't even want to believe it was possible. They're all coming out. It's wild. And for Trump now to say this about Kelly and Tucker, that's crazy stuff, guys. That is crazy. And it tells you that our media ecosystem, even though the fake news, big mainstream media is pretty much defeated, it does tell you that they didn't really get defeated. They just got smarter. And they moved into the podcast influencer world. Now, this isn't 100%. There's still good ones out there. Okay? I would be shocked, I mean it, if we saw Tim Pool ever hit this list. I'd be shocked if we saw somebody like Jeremy from the Quartering hit this list. They're not nearly as big as Megyn and Tucker, but they're big enough. There's good people out there, and you wonder why they're not as big. Isn't it interesting? People like Megyn and Tucker came from mainstream media. Makes you think. There's a whole lot of grifting going on, folks. But the good news is we're starting to see it. Okay, but here's what's also interesting, and this is why I said MAGA's not following. Look at this poll that came out today. All the grifting, all the attacking, all the lies. Rich Barris today, oh my God, him and that fraud Robert Barnes doing a video today, a live show, crashing out over this Iran thing, how it's going to destroy the Trump coalition and MAGA's done and Trump is the biggest dummy in the world, and the neocons won, and it's going over all crazy. He's been saying this for months now. And yet today, Republicans have come back, have made up 8 points from their last poll to tie it 50-50. And this is Harvard-Harris. This is a left-wing pollster. Republicans are pulling even. Now, Iran, we'll see how this impacts it, but I'm telling you, we don't have to be afraid. I think we're going to pull it out. So with that said, I do want to get into the chat. I saw a lot of chatting, and I was vamping. So I want to get in the chat a little bit here before we end tonight, and see what you guys are saying. Because, I'm fine when you guys disagree, and I know everybody's got opinions because these are big names I'm talking about. So let me see here. These people are outing themselves. Emperor New Close, 100%. Andy says, I love the Keno casino segments on quartering. I think he's a massive grifter. I don't think so. I think he's too small to be a grifter. I really do. I think he's just a hustler. And that's different than being a grifter. I don't think Jeremy's fake. He's not clever enough to be fake. He's not. So I just really don't think that. Ray Sandoval says only Trump is MAGA. Amen. By the way, guys, if you did like this show, if you learned anything, even if you disagree with me, but you like where I'm headed, please hit the like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Strayhorn says right there with me on all of it. Please play the Spaceball clip. Okay. Let me pull this up. I don't have it ready, but I will. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I have it ready, but I can find it real quick. This is so funny. Did I? Oh, I misspelled. I spelled Candace wrong. Let me see if I can find it. Whoa. Okay, some of this stuff I might not be able. Dang X. I don't know if I can find it, dude. I might have to go back through my own. I'll try another time. That was horrifying. I'm about to get banned on YouTube. I'll see if I can find it, but it might be hidden somewhere deep on my page. I know I played it the other night. Oh, I found it. Okay, here it is. I had to go off just in case some dirty came up again. All right, here it is. The Candace, the fantastic Candace Spaceballs clip.
Fathers, sisters, husbands, previous wife's daughter's daughter.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
Fathers, sisters,
One more time.
husbands, previous wife's daughter's daughter.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
And like I said last time when I played it, for those who don't remember, the next line is, well, what does that make us? Absolutely nothing. Which is exactly what that word salad leads to. So funny. Heidi says, love the show tonight. It's kind of breaking my heart. 47 has to fight on so many fronts when he loves America so much. You know what? I agree with you, Heidi, but the man he's just built different. He is a completely different animal. What Trump's gone through, taking a bullet, almost losing his fortune, almost going to federal prison. What he's done to become our president, it's like he's the toughest SOB ever. I'm in awe of our president. It's why I have no problem trusting him against all others. If you have a mic and just have a couple facts on your side and a couple opinions, why the hell would I trust you over this guy who's gone to hell and back for our country? Why would I ever trust anybody like that? And I want to know, because I get people who hate my show and people come to just hate watch it. And they're usually pretty cowardly in the chat while I'm live because they don't like that I fight back. So they wait till I get off and then they comment afterwards, but it's pathetic. But I want to know, to you guys, like hate watching right now, that I can't, like, how do I put this? I can't understand how anybody could make the case that some moron online, even, and I'm including myself here, could be more trustworthy than President Trump for our nation. I just don't. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, he conquered the world on McDonald's. Diet Coke's amazing. Tammy, if you gave me $5,000, how many times would I say your name? I don't know. I'd say it on the show. I don't know. I could do a whole video for you. Like, say it 100 times, 1,000 times. Jake, I love watching Megyn Kelly's speeches at TP and the other podcasts. Dude, listen, Megyn is she's extremely bright. She's very well spoken. She's done so many amazing shows. She's called out so many things. Done a great investigative work, especially in the legal area. She's been great on the trans issue, great on just a lot of things. But I tell you what, like, she was a liberal. She was a liberal, and she was mainstream media. And, you know, I didn't like Megyn for the longest time, especially after she went after Trump in the first term. But then she won me back, because I'm telling you, it's been 6 years of nonstop, like 95% great content from her. Like, she's been on fire. Her show is great for a while. But man, I just, you know, some of these people, that's their whole point, is to win you over and then turn on you. Because see, what they're doing is they're playing the long game. They're very smart. They play the long game. They earn your trust, and then they deploy. They deploy at the right time and hope. See, Megyn's got millions of viewers. And so she's been building trust with the MAGA base. And then when Trump kind of needs her the most, she bails on him. When it comes to the most controversial thing Trump's done, she bails. And she's got the legal mind. She knows exactly how to build the case. And she easily could have, even if she disagreed with it, trusting Trump being real MAGA, she could have built the case both ways. And she could have said, I see how they could do this, and I could also see this. And that's what you do if you're real. But if you just come out and say, he's controlled by Israel, screw you. That just tells me everything I need to know. And fortunately, the vast majority of MAGA does still trust Trump over any of these influencers. And I believe most of them who are scared right now, are skeptical, they'll be won back by the midterms. I really do. So Bird Talk says, I'm glad you're pointing out the traitors. Hoping Stephen Turley's on the grifter boat. I enjoy listening to him. I don't know who Turley is, so hopefully he's good. Drew says, people shouldn't worry about the Epstein Files. Believe justice will come. They don't have a statute of limitation for sex crimes against kids. Interesting. That's good to know. Let's see. What's this? MH says, I work with a guy in his mid-20s from Iran. So happy about the crushing of the insane regime in Iran. He's emotional. That's awesome. Wicked says, end of the day, only a handful of people know what Trump's doing every step of the way. Not one social media influencer has a clue until Trump's moved the chess piece. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, it's those dang demons that attack Tucker in his bed. Let's see. Sally says, I've named everyone she's never cared for, trusted, or watched. Owens, Bannon, Flynn, Hodge, Megyn Kelly, MTG, Tucker. I got you while you were saying it, huh? That's funny. Yeah, they do have some weird stuff. I don't know. And the problem is when they go grifter like this, when they go grifter, it's like, it makes you wonder how much they've been saying that was honest at all, So anyways, listen, How do I think the war will affect the stock market? We already saw it. The stock market's going to be just fine. It's not worried about it at all. It rebounded today. Unless there's some terrible news, that's the only way the stock market's going to go down. But as long as the war is going well, as long as it looks like we're winning and winning quickly, stock market will be fine. If Trump is controlled by anyone, it'd be his wife. How does Trump look so young, pushing 80? Dude, Trump has some weird beliefs, but they worked for him. He's never drank, never smoked. I don't believe he's ever smoked. I know he's never drank. And he has this weird belief about energy where he refuses to like hard exercise because he believes every person has a finite amount of energy. So Trump golfs, but he also uses a golf cart. And he's like, he's not a germaphobe, but he's skeptical about food. So that's why he eats fast food all the time, because it's chain. And he knows like fast food, since they always do it a certain way, that he can trust fast food to be cleaner than a regular restaurant, because he knows like these people have been trained and they have a system. he's got all these weird beliefs, but man, somehow it's worked for him. And he looks great and he's incredible. So, but he's also just a freak of nature. He's just a freak of nature. Taya says, they don't know what it's like to have a leader fight so hard, risk so much on behalf of them. I can't understand, likely envy it. Yeah, I agree with you. Trump let the cat out of the bag. He isn't bored, especially what he's been through. Oh yeah, for sure. Baby News Network is funny. I've seen a lot of their clips. Yeah. All I've heard all day is race end of all. Is Israel controls Trump and everything. I know. It's so stupid. Christina, hey guys, coming home from a political event, jail no bail streaming through my speakers, keep you awake. Oh, good. Love it. It's all the preservatives in McDonald's food. Did you hear RFK the other day said like one of his favorite moments so far with Trump is that he said Trump locked him in and forced him to eat a Big Mac. It was so funny. But anyways, I digress. All right, guys, love you. It's about 2 hours in. It's getting late. So listen, we're winning. We're winning again. Let me go back here. They can't beat us. It's all assets deployed. They are going hardcore after Trump right now to destroy him, but it's not working. We are going to see that this Iran thing is going to work out well. It's not going to be a boondoggle. It's not going to get us stuck. And again, it's like, trust the plan, guys. I mean, it doesn't mean everything's perfect. It doesn't mean everything will be easy. It doesn't mean that everything is always going to go according to the first A plan. But I believe the Trump team has plan B, plan C, plan D. They always have a counter move. And because of that, I trust them. And, you know, just to be honest with you, as a man of faith, I believe God's on Trump's side. It doesn't mean God is like Trump's perfect, anything like that. It just means that he's the man for the mission, and he is all hands on. He's going to see this mission through. And I believe God chose him for such a time as this. So Kev Tech says, thanks, Ace. Been a lurker. Wanted to chime in. Massie's traitor scumbag being funded by Democratic Socialists of America and George Soros. Yes. Yes, he is. And I say it all the time. But thank you, Kev. I'm glad you're on the same side as me. Anyways, but love you guys. Be excited. We are winning so much. This last 14 months is just, it's mind-boggling how incredible it's been. And it's only going to get better. We have so much stuff, good stuff coming. The economy is already turning around. People are starting to see it. The polls are starting to show it. The State of the Union kind of reset the deck. And now the Iran stuff, we're going to have to see how it goes. But thanks, Kev. He says he shared my channel. I deserve loads more viewers. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that very much. I do. All right. But anyways, we got to end on a prayer, because prayer is how we got here. I believe Trump is the answer to decades of prayer. We are winning. We are going to win, but it's only because we stay prayerful and we don't give up. If we give our nation and the people turn back to God, we can't lose. And so we pray and we keep going, and we're going to win big. Thank you to President Trump for saying yes. JD Vance, we'll get 8 years of him, I believe. And we're just going to keep winning. but it's going to be hard sometimes. Don't get discouraged. We're going to do this. So, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless everybody here. Thank you, Lord, for them, their support, their watching. Lord, I know they all love you and they'll be obedient and like and subscribe. Thank you, God. but Lord, seriously, bless them and just be with them wherever they need you to be, Lord. Let them know that you're for them. Father, bless our president, bless his team. Protect them, Lord. Protect them, watch over them, give them wisdom and boldness to keep, Lord, just keep the mission being complete, just until it's finished. Give them everything they need. We pray for peace, justice, prosperity to our nation like never before. And we just thank you. Thank you for the miracle that you saved our country and for the miracles you're performing to build it better than ever before. Bless our troops. Bless operations in Iran. Bless all innocent people involved in this skirmish, no matter where they're from. And thank you, God, for all you do. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, I meant to say I always pray for exposure too, and think about how many people have been getting exposed. Not saying it's my prayers. I mean, it's thousands and millions of people praying for all this, but it's working. So anyways, love you guys. Have a great night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.
Headlines screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night.